Hi friends, and thank you for making it to video number 3, the final video in this series. If you are jumping in right here at video number 3, if you don't know who I am, I'm John Eldon, and I have made it my mission to introduce 100,000 people to the out of doors and faith. If you're here, then you have a desire or an interest to pass outdoor skills and faith to a new generation or even the present generation. If you've not listened to the videos in number 1 and 2, please go back and watch them, because you will have missed valuable steps in this process, and the information in those videos will be of help to you in your search for the right information for your circumstance. In the past 2 videos, I told you about my struggles and Paul, the person who opened my eyes to the process. I gave you several tips about working with your group, and I showed you some of the methods, and many others besides myself have used these, by the way, to start a discussion about grace with groups, families, or friends. And finally, I told you we'd talk about how you can get involved. That's what this is about. That is what we will be talking about in this video today. We have to start by asking a simple question. Why do people tune out to your message? Why would you tune out to a message of hope? Why would you tune out to a message of assistance? Why would you tune out to a message from grace? The answer is fairly common and simple, because there's a lot of noise in the channel, a lot of noise around you, and people dismiss the message. They don't dismiss it particularly because they don't think it's important. It's just that they're competing with a lot of other things in the system. And you, in this program, have the opportunity to eliminate that noise. Next, when we read things specifically from the Bible all the time, and by the way, you have to be Bible-based. I really, really do believe that, because that's the word, that's the message. But to relay that information in a manner in which the people understand it from day-to-day use, there's no greater chance to do that when an opportunity is presented during a daily activity where the noise has been eliminated, and that happens in an outdoor setting. And you can use common expressions, and you can use the common events that you are in harmony and working with someone to show them the beauty and the grandeur and the purpose of grace in their life. You do this best when you're in an outdoor setting. You break out of the passages and the quote, the jargon, the words that maybe they don't quite understand, but you get a chance to start a discussion and bring that information in and teach them along the way. And from time to time, something motivational from that message of the word will help you in the process. The other thing is that sometimes people pretend to be what they're not. And I know you come into me not knowing me, you don't know who I am. I get that. And the only way that you're going to know is if we continually take this walk together. And the best place to take this walk, by the way, I invite you, I do seminars and I do workshops. I invite you to come and join and become part of those seminars and workshops, because here, honestly, is when you'll see exactly in action what we do. Or by going through this process, you'll hear more of my audios and eventually videos and some of the other programming, that we have, so you can make up your decision along the way as well. Really, I have to ask you, if this program resonates with you, even if I'm not the person who's going to do it for you, please go forward and find another way to do it. I don't have a problem with you not using this program. What I have a problem with is that you don't take those first steps, that you don't give something new a try. Because honestly, if you think about it, everything comes back to being able to be self-sufficient and working in cooperation in the process of self-sufficiency. Well, what's greater than that, than being in an outdoor setting where you gotta work together as a community, and you get a chance to talk to people, and the noise is eliminated. They see you do it. You're not a pretender because you're out there doing it with them, and you're You are suffering sometimes from the weather, let's say, right? Or the food didn't go right. You've got to do it with them. And how we handle that, because sometimes we fail too, right? Sometimes we're stressed. Sometimes they come to our aid. Sometimes they give us the support, and gradually that community builds. Trust is not always built, nor messages are not always sent by one direction. It's a combination. It's an engagement. It's a way to open a conversation. And really, here's another thing, right? You can't help but be excited at times. So if you're standing up there and you're going, I want to do this and you should, you won't have an opportunity to do that, because I'll tell you something. When it's raining on you, you try to be in a monotone, unless you're completely down, and I get it. Or when you wake up in the morning and you jump into a cold mountain lake, you're awake, okay? And you're praising nature at that point. Believe me, there's no better feeling. I get off the track here for a minute. When I worked on a lake, I taught sailing for 2 summers with a group, and I lived on the boat. I'd go away on the weekends, but I'd come back during the week, and I spent entire weeks at a time for the summer doing this. I'd meet a group, and I'd take them out for a whole week, and I'd teach them how to sail. Well, every morning I'd get up and I'd jump in that lake. It was a big lake, by the way. Okay, really big lake. And I'll tell you what, I was alive. And the people around me got to do it. Well, we'll get up, we'll do it in the morning, We got to follow the protocol, we got to have our safety observers, but we're going to get in there, we're going to do it. I'll tell you what, there's no greater experience than things like that. There's no shared greater experience. Another problem is sometimes we get a little too close to people. But you get a lot of time to spend time in your own thoughts when you're hiking, when you're camping, when you're away just going for a walk. Yeah, you may have to be with people for safety reasons, because that's just what we do, but along the way there's a lot of quiet time, there's a lot of reflection time, and then later in this solo part you actually get solo quiet time, as I call it. Get your solo quiet time. That's a big struggle. I don't know about you, but I have a struggle giving other people solo quiet time. Right? I've been called passionate. You're like, you're passionate. It's because I believe in what we're doing. I cannot have a greater compliment. Thank you for those. The other thing is, when you meet somebody, you really aren't able to look them in the eye, because you're not sure, and maybe you were doubting yourself, but after a while you get this bond. It's one-on-one, it's straight communication back and forth. That can include your family members, because you've disconnected with them. Most importantly, you start picking up on things around you and the people around you, and because you're in close proximity, but yet you have enough space and distance to be your own person. Because as I said in an early part of the videos, I said to you, you really come to this by your own free will. There is no other option. For you to get involved with this program, there are 3 simple steps. First and foremost, decide how this can fit into your life, your family's life, or your group, church, whoever that might be. Decide, how can this fit in? Look it over. You've already looked it over, and hopefully you've already come to the decision that this is going to be a good choice for you, but I want you to decide. Next, find out if the people in your life and the circle and the church and the groups are interested. Have a discussion. Go back and show them some of this. Then make a decision to use this program. And third, commit by making that decision and order the program. And honestly, I have to tell you, you got to order it today or in the next few days, because honestly, I can't guarantee. This is a limited supply that I have. We're a small group, and when it runs out, it's over. Now, will it come back eventually? Sure. I'm sure it will. But the thing is, we're limited right now, and we can't continue without your good works, because we have other places we're going with this, and I can't even tell you about those next, because this is exciting. Don't forget that one of the things we do is our 1 in 10 rule. If you haven't looked at our 1 in 10 rule, then look it up. It's on our site. We talk about how simply The first 1 in 10 of everything that we do, we give to Grace. This program is limited, and I can't guarantee the price or the bonuses will be or stay in place. We may change those. So if they're there now, I can't guarantee it. Now listen, I'm not telling you this because it's like, wow, you know, you're really putting, it's not about that. It's just like, this is the way our life and world is at this point. I can't guarantee anything's here tomorrow. I can guarantee one thing. I can guarantee if you don't do it, you won't start, you won't walk the path, and you won't be able to use this program. I will also guarantee you something else, that we're there for you. That when you get involved with us or this program, you can pick the phone up and call us. Now, be really, you know, really aware. We're small. We're a small group. We're not huge. We're not some big conglomerate group of people. There's only a few of us. And I got to tell you, the thing is, we will get back to you. We'll call you back, but you got to leave a message too. It's all right there on the site. It's all right on our website. Okay. I'm more than happy to talk to anybody at any time. You know, we're not going to charge you a consultation fee either. And if you're struggling and we can help you, we'd be happy to help you. You know, again, feel free to have a conversation. So that's what I've kind of laid out for the process of this. And now I want to tell you specifically, if you're not sure, go to the page, but it's all spelled out right there on what this program involves and what you get. I'm going to go over it real quick for you here. So let's talk about what's in this kit. The Camp Vival kit, all right, the Weekend of Change Camp Vival Deluxe Camp Vival kit has a 4-disc box set of MP3s which follow a guideline of lessons. Now, disc 1 is 1 through 6 lesson. Disc 2 is audio 7 through 12. Disc 3 is 13 through 18, and disc 4 is 19 through 24. There are 24 lessons. With that goes the syllabus, the 24 syllabus outline, which takes you step by step. Now look, there's also supplemental information in there. It's we give you tips. There are pages on how to deal with especially youth. There's pages on how to deal with youth that tell you things that help you to break problems down. If you're having difficulty with someone in your group, it's going to give you some strategies to deal with those difficult people. It's going to break down safety rules. It's going to give you checklists. It's going to tell you the things you need to know. All right. There's an activity title, lesson number, the time required to do it, the learning points, defining objectives, the material needs, the rules of the activity, outline of the activity step by step, safety rules. This is for each lesson, by the way. Safety rules and other suggestions, debriefing points by the numbers. And what is a debrief? Well, we'll get into that because we teach you how to debrief as part of this. And then summary statements. So in other words, how are you going to wrap this up? How are you going to tie it all together? There's also a Bible verse that goes with it, or a lesson, because it's not always just a Bible verse. It might be a quote from somewhere else that we can weave into this process, and it's going to take you step by step. It's going to grab this right by the proverbial horns, right? It's going to just like wrestling down anything, okay? And it's going to break it down and show you how to do it. So the 24 lesson syllabus is worth the price, honestly, and the process overall, especially combined with the audio lessons, because what the audio lessons do is to brief you as the leader and give you tips. You don't play these for the people in your group. This is for you. And you know, there are like 90 minutes for each disc, but they're broken down, so you may only have to listen to 5, 10, 15 minutes or less of a lesson, although you already know me, so I'm sure you know it's probably not going to be less. But listen, it's okay, all right? It really is. I'm giving you permission to say it's okay. All right, if you think you're just going to do it in 2 minutes, really, is there any value in that? Come on, 2 minutes you get the outline, but what we're going to talk about is strategy, and you're going to understand it when you're done. That's really my goal. And after a while, you won't need to do this. You'll go through it once. Maybe you'll listen to it a couple of times because you're unsure. And especially if you're unsure, this is great because you can just listen to it over and over until you get it down. And if you got questions, well, we got lots of resources for you, okay? And it's right in the book. You can just use that as your guide. You open the syllabus. That can come with you. That can go in your pack. That can go on your, wherever. All right? And then on top of that, because learning is about fun. We give you an interactive board game that comes with this kit. It's really cool. It's really solid. It's heirloom quality. You know, it's a simple game to play. It's really not hard, but it's engaging and it's fun, and it can be fast-paced. And by the way, we give you alternate rules so you can do it with a group. And so it has multiple purposes. Or you can just do it with 2 people, or you can play it with like 4 people, right, to play the game itself. Or we can, you know, you can flip this script, as I like to say, and you can all of a sudden be playing with a group of 12, and you have one person who's kind of the controller, the leader of the group, who does the you know, moving of the pieces. Everybody can see it. They can kind of stand around. They can take turns. They can come up. And then, hey, listen, I got another thing for you. I'll tell you how this changes. It's really a cool kind of switch on this game. So imagine you're moving around. You have cards, and the cards take you step by step, and you have to get resources. And those resources are things like fire, shelter, food, tools, first aid, you know, may be required. And what's happening is a storm's moving in. And as that storm's moving in, you got a choice. You either got to go somewhere or not. And in the process, you don't have to start over. You just, it changes the rules of the game. So the Knot It activity kit number 1 teaches you how to tie knots. Now, there's enough here. This is a game by itself, by the way. So you can use it as a game or just as a teaching tool. The book shows you how to tie the knots. It gives you all the tools to tie it, and it gives you flashcards that show you what the knots look like, and you draw them, and then in the process, you have people tie knots. Now, listen, do you have to buy, because there's like a limited number here, you know, you can, it's really designed for a small number of people, but you're going to be able to come up with rope, right? I mean, it's one of the things you won't have a problem finding, I'm sure. And you can use this kit. All you have to do is multiply by more rope, or you can buy more kits if you want. But honestly, I don't suggest doing that. Come on, man. I mean, you know, I mean, come on, people, right? All right. I don't suggest you buy additional kits unless you're going to give them to people, or people want their own. And there is an opportunity to do that too. And that is at a huge discount for you as the leader, so that you can pass these on to people. Now, that being said, if you want to add to this, you're going to understand how to do it, because the idea is to teach you as a leader. And then the Sun Compass activity kit. This is a design that I actually came up with. I haven't seen anybody really do this. I mean, there are some kind of similar things, but what this is a combination of a sundial and a navigational aid. And you'll see these separated in other ways, but between the two, you can go back and forth of either telling time by the sun, or you can find direction, or both. And you have to tune it. There's a whole process, but it's a really cool thing, and it's going to take you some time. You can use one of these with your group, and you can take turns using it, and you can teach them how to use it, and it's another small group activity. It's one of the lesson plans as well. But what it leads into is a navigation, like, you know, and then you're going to move on to compasses, and you're going to move on to maps and other things. But it's basic navigation, and during this time, you can have a conversation. You can start a new conversation. Now, what's that conversation? Well, what about direction? Direction of life. You know, what's a compass for? How do we find the points? How do we determine those? What's that guiding light in our life? It's easy to transition when you're doing this in a natural setting. It's part of the debrief program, folks. And it doesn't come off hokey, because here's the answer. You can always tell them and show them that what you're trying to do is relate one thing to another. It's the best way to learn. People who succeed, people who move forward, have a guiding light, a guiding force. But what you choose and what you focus on may well be that part. Now, are we going to focus on something that is not correct? Because we're going to get off course. It's a simple understanding. And you do it because you see it. You're there. You're part of it. Hey, I got off course because I didn't follow my simple guiding light. All right? It was that simple. Anyway, that's just to give you an idea of some of the processes you can use. And then net making. Now, why net making? Well, net making takes more patience. The 101 Camp Vival Skills book. Now, this book gives you 101 camping techniques and outdoor techniques, bushcraft, survival techniques, but what it does is it's a revival. This one is 100% about the actual outdoor part, which is going to tell you what you need to know. And all you got to do is go point by point. There are also things that you're going to do in the lesson, so you're going to learn them as you go. You're going to do them in a safe manner, and it's going to give you all the lists. It's going to give you all the things you need to know. And it's going to be combined with something else coming up called the Golden Ticket. The Golden Ticket is your pass to online video links and much more. That's audios, videos, extra downloads, PDFs. All these resources are for you. This is a limited time special bonus offer included. You're going to get certification templates and printouts of the program so that they have something to take home with them, something that they can show and feel proud about. I'm going to give you a template for something called a passport. This passport is your guide, like it's a checklist for each individual person. And the reason I give you a template is, well, each individual can print basically about 3 pages of paper, two-sided, and they have checklists. They fold it in half, and they got a little booklet, put a couple staples in it, you take it with you, and you just sign off on it. You say, okay, you finish this, and when you're done, you'll get your certificate. And not only that, you know you're on track. You know where you're going. Wow, look what you've done. Open that up. Look how far I am. And it's not levels in the sense like I'm leveling up, I'm more powerful, I have more of something than anywhere else. It's just a self-check, folks. You can do it for yourself or your family. And you earn something. You earn the certificate at the end. PDF checklists, right? I mean, those are important. A checklist? Absolutely. I mean, what to pack, how to pack. That's just a few examples. Menus. You know, there's ideas about programming. All of those will be in that PDF checklist section. Backyard camping ebook. This takes you step by step. Very short ebook, but really good. Gives you some pictures on what to do on your first backyard camping trip. Adirondack guide stories. You're going to get a free group guide to Camp Vival e-bonus. All right. This is a 12-page guide that will show you an outline and checkpoints that let you use the Camp Vival program with a group of 7 or more. So it gives you all the little tips and tricks on how to like amp this up. And that's what we talked about earlier, because if you have a small group or you're a family, well, then it's very straightforward. You don't even have to really use this. But if you want to amp this up and go to a bigger group, let's say you have 24 in your group, I can show you step by step how to do that with this guide. This is the checklist that gives you that outline. Because really, like I said, we designed this 100% with the homeschooler in mind. But you can also amp this up, amplify this to go with a larger group. And we're going to give you the guide to do that. And a special bonus, I'm going to give you an MP3 about Paul. I'm going to talk to you about Paul. You're going to get the backstory and all the information. Now, I want to throw one other thing since you're listening in here. And I've already told you. Now, some people are going to say, well, I'll give you a 20-minute of my time consulting time period. Listen, folks, just pick the phone up, text us, call us, send us an email. I'll get back to you. I have to tell you, it's not, maybe not that minute. It's not going to be within the hour, but I will return whatever you send me. I'm out on the road too. I'm doing the same thing you are, folks. Okay. Well, that's it. That's the program. And that's how you can get involved. So I want to review those 3 simple steps before we go. Step 1, decide how you can make this fit in with you, your group, your family, your church. Find out. Number 2, find out if the people in your life and circle are interested in this program. Make a decision to use this program if they are. And finally, number 3, commit by ordering this program. I would order today because I can't guarantee that the price of the bonuses are going to stay the same. Well, there it is, the Camp Vival program. Well, my friends, until next time, I want to wish you well. I want to say God bless. Thank you. Pass on the message. Pass on the witnessing. This is John Eldon. Have a great day.